Okay,
Yep, we're
evening,
good.
everybody. I'll start this off. My name is Steve Welch, and I'm a member of the 300th Committee. I hope you're all aware of our anniversary coming up in 2022. We're planning a year-long event, and we'll share some of that info with you in just a few moments. But first, I want to say I hope this broadcast finds you, your family, and your friends safe during these trying times. Hopefully by 2022, we'll have this virus behind us. Many of you have expressed a willing to help. Well, that time is now. We have just over a year to go before this celebration starts. We need your help. A few of the things we need help with is the 300 parade, the encampment. We need people to help with publicity, logistics, and the list goes on and on. Artists to do various artworks. If you have something you'd like to do or see, by all means, if you can help run that, reach out to us. Happy to help you do this. The time is now. The time is here. In closing, I hope we can celebrate not only this great town's anniversary, but hopefully an end to COVID-19. I'll now turn this over to Gwen Friend. Gwen, take it away.
Hi. My name's Gwen Friend. I'm going to share my screen with you. Oops. Sorry. Things are in the way of my. Here we are. All right, my name is Gwen Friend, and I grew up in Nottingham. I continue to have many ties here, including family who live here and our family home on Route 156. It's been an honor and a pleasure to help create this cookbook, which was just published a couple of weeks ago. Came back from the printers. I want to start by talking about our vision for this work. The cookbook should represent the soul of Nottingham. To do this, we had to do two things. First, we needed to start the history with the indigenous people who lived here before the colonial times, and then tell the history of food in Nottingham from colonial times to today. We end that history with a little piece about the food bank. We also needed to be true to the townspeople who submitted recipes, keeping the recipes they submitted in the spirit in which they were written at the same time that we published a clear and easy to use cookbook. Luckily, we had all of the members of the Cookbook Committee, which was the subcommittee of the Nottingham Tri-Centennial, were great cooks, except for me. We even had one professional, I don't know if she calls herself a chef or a cook, but Susan Jackson Rafter on the committee. They did everything. They typed, edited, formatted, proofed, provided pictures, wrote sections of the book, researched history, everything, as they say, from soup to nuts. The committee took care of to make sure we got this done. It's very hard to make sure that we acknowledge everyone who participated. So many people helped. I'm really hopeful that we've pretty much got everybody. And I apologize for anybody who might have been left out. I want special thanks to the members of the Cookbook Committee, as well as the town residents who provided us with so many great recipes. You'll notice, you can read this, there were people who helped us with information about the Pennacook Abenaki people who lived here before. Shannon Taylor provided Abenaki recipes. She is a resident of Nottingham with who traces her ancestry back to indigenous people. And Bill Shimon for providing a beautiful picture of Nottingham Square at sunset on the front cover. Everybody else too. I want to note that Rhoda K. Blount would very graciously let us use her picture in the book, but many more people, everybody helped. It was great. Oh, vaccine figures. Well, I remember telling the Tri-Centennial Committee that in 2019 they should be ready by Christmas, and they all just kind of shook their heads and said, "Oh, we don't think so." And here we are. We have it ready for Christmas of 2020, and they were right. It was a lot of work. It took a long time, 16 months. The final product is 168 pages with 209 recipes and special indices for vegetarian and gluten-free recipes. We found 4 older cookbooks published by Nottingham groups. This is the first one, our cookbook, published in 1896 by the ladies of the Universalist Church. They had a very different way of cooking, or very different methods at that time. The second one wasn't published until 1976, 80 years later, by the Women's Auxiliary. Very nice book with lots of great recipes. The Friends of the Blaisdell Memorial Library published Sharing Our Best in 1997. Lots of people rely on this every day. The newest of the old cookbooks was published in 2011. What I find interesting about this book was, while it was also published by the Fire Department Auxiliary, the name changed from the Women's Auxiliary to the Nottingham Fire Rescue Auxiliary to keep up with the times. They added in the rescue capacity and allow men now to join us, so not just women. Thanks to Bill Garnett, we were able to include old New England sayings throughout the book. Here I illustrated the cucumber saying, with a picture of a cucumber plant from a Nottingham garden in the summer of 2020. I have no idea when they planted it. Probably not the 2nd of June, but there are many more in the book that you can find. We wanted the pictures to represent food and farming in Nottingham, as well as capture its history and natural beauty. The oldest one we have is probably the one from the Fog Farm here on the bottom right. I think it's actually a postcard, and it came from the Historical Society, which is great. And one of the newest ones is over here on the left, the Fresh Egg sign, which is a Nottingham Fresh Egg sign, taken in 2020. In between the newest and the oldest, we had many other pictures which helped capture the spirit of Nottingham. And again, we want to thank everyone for their help with this. For a while, we were afraid we wouldn't get enough recipes. We put out a call in the summer of 2019 and kept it up until we had way more than enough. We have to apologize to the people who submitted so many recipes. We couldn't use them all. And we thank everyone for their work. You can guess the largest category of submissions: desserts, of course. Here are 2 recipes from a couple of the older cookbooks. The tart crust I enjoy because it shows a different way of preserving food prior to using refrigeration on a regular basis. And the salad dressing by Mary Louise Fernald is a recipe from a very beloved person in Nottingham who is now no longer with us. Stories. We had many of the recipes came to us with stories from the writers. Recipes passed on through the years from older relatives, from friends, and recipes for talking about family holiday favorites. But as we worked on the cookbook, we made new stories, like those on this slide, to tell each other and to pass around. The Pie Social, pictured here, will be a great place to tell them once it gets going again after COVID-19. I show off this book, of course, to anyone who will listen to me, especially my poor family who had to listen to me for months and months as we put the book together. They got some chuckles And I've seen a couple books with tags in them, flag for recipes people want to try. Bill Garnett's line, restrain or otherwise occupy the family dog before the next step, is a favorite. I particularly like Susan Pratt Mooney's comment about 15 ingredients. She said, I never do this. In conclusion, people of Nottingham created this book. Susan Jackson Master wrote in the acknowledgement section the absolute right words about the cookbook. I'm going to read part of it. All of it is printed here. It's all, of course, in the book. Thanks to COVID-19, things have certainly changed from the time we started assembling this cookbook to its publication in 2020. We've all had to make changes to our lives we never thought possible. Through it all, we can be thankful for a community of friends and neighbors like ours that we can depend on. We hope these recipes bring you comfort and happiness. I want to thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to help create this testimonial to the people of Nottingham. Thank you. And now I'm going to pass this on to Rhoda Capron, who can tell you how to buy a copy or copies of this cookbook. Thank you.
Thank you, Gwen. This is our copy of the cookbook. They make great presents, and I encourage you to pick up a copy for you whenever you get a chance. They are available at Demon's Store, Jeunesse Farm, Liar's Paradise, and the Selectman's Office. They're $15 each, and they'll be available at our next pop-up. So keep your eyes open for the next clues for where and when that pop-up will be. And we hope that you will make sure you get one. And stay tuned because we are giving away one later on this evening. I was just going to share a little bit of a trivia with you to go along with this, because I'm also, as well as a member of the 300th committee, I am on the Historical Society, and didn't have one specifically on food, but a walk through the trails at Pawtuckaway State Park reveals evidence of many stone walls, which indicates that as unlikely as it looks for farmland today, that once it was cleared for agricultural use. And they grew crops as well as fruit and orchards, and had cattle and all sorts of agricultural activities that went on in Pawtuckaway State Park. And now Bob Davidson is going to share with you about the plans for the militia.
Thank you, Rhoda. I'm glad I came on at the nick of time. So basically, we were talking late last year about doing something, since I belong to the 1st New Hampshire Regiment, which is a reenactment group throughout southern New Hampshire. We have a couple members in Massachusetts, and the 1st New Hampshire has been around the reenactment since 1973. And we do a lot of reenacting, parades, just living history. So with that said, what the committee wanted me to do, and we're still in the planning stages, is that we wanted to do a weekend reenactment with various regiments, not just mine, but members that play British, Loyalists, Continental. So I'm working with other groups on the planning stages, and we're looking forward to participating. And I'm not sure if anybody saw back 5 years ago in Epping, down on Nottingham Square Road, we had a 240th anniversary reenactment of Battle of Bunker Hill. I was not part of that. I wasn't part of the regiment at that point, but hopefully we will be using Romeo's backyard Nottingham Square to do this event. And I created a video that was made last year before all the COVID-19 out in Fort Ford, Charlestown, New Hampshire, which is kind of similar with Romeo's Backyard. And I have Steve, if Steve could hook that up, and we can show
Bob,
that
I'm
video.
ready to go when you tell me to get going. You ready,
Okay,
Bob?
so it's just a brief video that my wife actually took some video and pictures of not just my group, but several groups that may be attending the reenactment for Nottingham 300, hopefully maybe in August of 2022. So we're going to play the video. It's about 20 seconds. And after we play the video, if anybody have any questions, please feel free to ask me. So Steve, with that, if you want to play the video, that'd be great. Thank you, Steve. So I just want to give a couple of shout outs to the participating groups. Of course, my group, the 1st New Hampshire, the 2nd New Hampshire Regiment, the 2nd Massachusetts, the United Train of Artillery. On the British side, His Majesty's 10th, and the King's Rangers, the Loyalists, and the Royal Artillery. So those are just a few groups that attended that particular reenactment. It's called Revolutionary Weekend out in Charlestown, New Hampshire. And, those are just a fraction of, or just maybe just people that will participate. So if anybody has any questions about, reenacting or anything like that, throughout the presentation, just give me a holler. And right now, Steve is showing pictures of me at Nottingham Square in my uniform. And that's pretty much the whole kit that I'm wearing. Just a demonstration on how to load the musket that I'm using. It is a real musket. It's a reproduction of a 1757 Brown Bess original patent. That would be the muskets that both the British and colonists would be using during the early, mid, and late part of the Revolutionary War. So, so if anybody has any questions, I'm be glad to answer them.
There appears to be a question.
Okay.
I think it says the uniforms and artillery, etc., are very impressive. I've never seen a reenactment. Any idea how long the presentation will last? We look forward to it.
Yes, usually with reenactments, and usually most reenactment are a whole weekend. And what happens is we have people come over from wherever. I mean, usually it's just in New England. They set up camp Friday afternoon. And obviously there's a whole logistics with the fire department, police, the town itself. And with it, obviously we're going to be in, Nottingham Square. So, need to have, the neighborhood involvement. And basically Saturday, it's and Saturday and Sunday, you'll see us, setting up camp, having breakfast, having, we can have participation with the crowd coming in, seeing, each camp. There'll be living history, the history of each regiment, cooking demonstrations, and usually the reenactment, usually starts like around 1:30, between 1 and, usually it lasts about an hour, an hour and a half, probably most like an hour. And after that, we go back to camp and we kind of settle down for lunch, for supper and dinner and fire camps and all that, and do the same thing for Sunday. So there's a lot of living history. A lot of the uniforms are different. You'll notice that we don't usually wear continental blue. That was just usually George Washington and his chief of his general staff. You'll see a lot of different color uniforms, and we'll explain all that during the encampment and all that. So so that's what's the gist of the whole weekend.
Thank you, Bob.
Yep.
We now turn it over to Rhoda. You're
Yes, this
next
is
up.
the moment you've all been waiting for.
I have been. I've been waiting. Chief, I
Um,
want a book. I want a book.
yes, this is your chance to win a free cookbook. But you must answer this trivia question, which is kind of relevant to what Bob just presented. Nottingham Square furnished more officers in the New Hampshire Revolutionary Army than any other town in the state except one or two towns that had larger populations. Now, the way you answer this before I read the question is you type your answer into the chat, and the first person correct answer typed into the chat will win a free cookbook. And the question is, can you name the 4 Revolutionary War generals? We saw the name of one on that statue while he was showing the pictures. So here is
And also put your name on so we can
it
get
will
you the
come
book.
up as they type it in.
And we're disqualified, so we shouldn't be playing.
Yeah, we're all disqualified, so I'm on the committee. So
Gwen, you want a book?
somebody will figure out who those 4 generals are.
And 2 of them were actually part of the 1st New Hampshire, and 2nd and 3rd.
That's cool. Thank you, Bob.
Yes. Well, while you're thinking about that, we can probably move on to Carrie, who is going to show you some of the ideas that we have with our calendar.
Great. Thank you, Rhoda. I'm honored to be able to share a preview of the calendar of events for Nottingham's 300th celebration. I'm a relatively new member of the committee, but the more I learn about the events planned for the year, the more excited I am. There's really going to be a great variety of events for anyone's interest. So we're just going to preview a few today, but stay tuned over the next few months as we reveal details about all of the remaining events. So it will be truly a year-long celebration with events from the first of the year in January all the way through December. And it will incorporate favorite events that are already a part of our town and that people look forward to, but with a special 300th theme. And then it will also incorporate new and special events that are unique to this year-long celebration. So starting in March, we will have the Pie Social, where I'm sure we'll be able to taste in person some of the great recipes that Gwen mentioned are a part of the cookbook. In April, there will be a mini march. This will recreate one of the marches that was unique to Nottingham's history, and it will be something that everyone in town can participate in. In May, there will be a reading of the charter at Nottingham Square. And then in July, the annual boat parade will have a 300th twist to it, as well as a reading of the Declaration of Independence. And then coming in August will be the Tri-Centennial Celebration Week, which will kick off with an ice cream social and then a blueberry pancake breakfast. We'll have a large fireworks display that will be, I'm sure, something that everyone in town is talking about for weeks to come after the event. We will also have a community talent show. So make sure you can start practicing now for whatever your act might be for that summer. There'll also be an evening outdoor concert, a family outdoor movie night, so you can come in your pajamas, sit on your blanket, and watch a good family movie. And then the week will end, the second weekend, with, as Bob described, the weekend-long reenactment. That will be a real chance for everyone to see history come alive on Nottingham Square and see how all of these areas that we pass by every day might have looked at the beginning of our town's history. And we will also have a parade, and this will definitely be a unique and large parade for the 300th, including marching bands. Many of the reenactors from the reenactment will be marching as well as opportunities for local groups to participate and show their pride in Nottingham. Great. So I'm going to pass it back now, I believe, to Steve to wrap us up.
Rhoda, did you want to announce the winner of the cookbook?
Yes, I am. I was just typing him. He did misspell Dearborn. I was letting it slide, but he corrected it. Tony Dumas is the winner, and he can pick up his cookbook at the selectman's office, which is probably an appropriate place for him to go.
Do you think he can find that?
I don't know. I think he goes there once in a while.
Okay. So I'd like to say in closing, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Our next meeting, if anybody's interested, will be November 5th at the Community Center. Love to see you join us. Spread the word. We are a small committee and we need the community's help. We have a lot of ideas. We've planned a lot. If we get help, we can do a little bit more, but without your help, a lot of this stuff is impossible. So we encourage you to come out and help us. And I look forward to seeing you. You can contact us at the Nottingham300@gmail.com. You can contact me directly at welchresort@myfairpoint.net. And again, thank you for joining us tonight and look forward to seeing you all out and about the town. As always, your friend and neighbor, Steve Welch. Thank you, Tony.
No problem.
Thank you, Tony.
I will, I've got this recorded and I will, I'll have to download it, but I will get it to you, Steve, and then you can put it wherever you want to put it, I guess.
I think you should go on the town website.
I agree.
Is there a page already for it? On the town website, is there a 300th page? No, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But I'll get the recording and then we'll get it posted somewhere.
And again, thank you, Tony, for doing this.
No,
Tony?
no problem.
Tony,
Yeah?
now that you have the cookbook, you need to bring refreshments to the next meeting.
That's right. I like that.
I don't think many people want to eat what I can cook, but
No, but your wife makes some great muffins.
yeah, cupcakes, yeah.
No, I want muffins. I don't want cupcakes.
Well,
I'll bring pewter cups and I'll bring some ale.
there you go. Well, there's an old saying.
Yeah.
There's an old saying that goes, if you lick the frosting off of a cupcake, it becomes a muffin, and muffins are healthy.
That's true.
Okay.
I like where you're going with that.
Mhm.
Okay, good night, all.
Good night,
night.
everybody.
Bye.
Thank
Thanks
you.
everyone for participating.
Night.
Night.